Mr. Chairman, by virtue of Resolution number 2018-096, this August body authorized the holding of this session here at the Bohol Cultural Center to accommodate the State of the Province address of the Honorable Provincial Governor. And this is our only business for the day. Therefore, Mr. Chairman, please recognize the Honorable Governor of the Province of Bohol, Attorney Edgar M. Chatto, for his State of the Province address.
The Honorable Edgar M. Chatto, Governor of the Province of Bohol, is recognized.
Acting Vice Governor Vincencio Arcamo, the honorable members of this august body, it is once again my honor to deliver before you and before the stakeholders of Bohol the State of the Province Address. These accomplishments would not have been made possible without you, honorable members of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan. But before anything else, I must acknowledge and invoke the support of the Almighty God, by whose grace everything is made possible. Also, allow me to greet everyone a happy Valentine's Day. Let's give a big hand to everyone, please. And of course, to our Chinese community, Gong Hei Fat Shui, in anticipation of the celebration of the Chinese New Year tomorrow. What a significant day indeed for the province of Bohol. I would like to greet the VIPs and guests in attendance, notably Brigadier General Melquiades Ordiales Jr. of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, Commander of the 1st Marine Brigade, assigned in Sultan Kudarat. Let's give a big hand, please. Our Pag-asa National Administrator, Vicente B. Malano, also a Boholano, together with our Regional Director, Oscar Nevada, and our Assistant Regional Director, Neil Balaba of OCD. It is our pleasure and great inspiration that we have with us today, no less than the Bishop of the Diocese of Tagbilaran, Bishop Abet Uy. May I also acknowledge our UP Advisory Council with UP President Emeritus Jose Abueva representing the team. He was also with us this morning during our consultation conference. And let me also acknowledge our other guests who are here with us in this hall today. It is my honor to present these accomplishments to all of you. As I present these accomplishments, I acknowledge the partnership and collaboration with our congressional representatives of the province of Bohol to the halls of Congress. I'm referring to Congressman Rene Lopez Relampagos, a big hand please, to Congressman Aristotle Aumentado, and Congressman Arthur Yap. The city officials of the city of Tagbilaran, led by Mayor John Jesnel Yap, Vice Mayor Jose Antonio Veloso, and the City Council of Tagbilaran. Likewise, let me also acknowledge our partners in the local government units, represented here by our mayors, with Mayor Allen Piezas, the President of the LNP, our Vice Mayors League, our Councilors League, Barangay Captains League, and other league of local officials. The national government agencies with their respective heads, the NGOs, CSOs, POs, and the rest of civil society, the business sector, the academe, the church and religious sector, religious faith groups, youth sector groups, the women's sector, our senior citizens, and representation from our marginalized sectors in the community, such as our farmers, fishermen, and even our Bohol Federation of Disabled Persons. We all acknowledge the strong support of the national government under the leadership of His Excellency President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, whom we met just a few days ago as he was sharing with his presidential directives to the local chief executives in the entire Visayas and Mindanao in a conference called for the purpose in Cebu. We are also fortunate to have with us today top officials of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas who are here with us for the signing of the deed of absolute sale to signal the start of the construction of our very own Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas branch in the province of Bohol. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of our BSP Assistant Governor Iluminada Sica and likewise Managing Director of Regional Monetary Affairs. Let's give a big hand to Ms. Sica, please. And of course, last but not the least, and always first in my heart, are the members of my immediate family. My wife, Pereza, our daughter, Trisha, our in-laws, nephews, and nieces, led by Betty Veloso Garcia, who also represents our overseas Boholanos, once as president of the Tigong Bolanos sa Tibuong Kalibutan. A big hand please to all of them. Our theme for this year's SOPA centers on what I have observed about Boholanos in 2018, exemplifying the best qualities of our greatest Boholano heroes. We exemplify the courage, the determination and resiliency of Francisco de Gojoy. And this couldn't be clearer than in our ability to rise from the rubbles of the 7.2 magnitude earthquake in 2013. And especially in our unified effort in thwarting the attempted Abu Sayyaf entry in the province of Bohol in April 2017. Kung sa Binasaya pa, nakatilaw sila lagi sa kaisog sa mga kaliwat ni Daguhoy. We exhibit the collaborative spirit and partnership of Datong Sikatuna. We live by the tenets of statesmanship, shared leadership, and love of Boholano arts of President Carlos P. Garcia. All three, together with all other Boholano heroes and historical figures, share an unimpeachable love of the province of Bohol. From the start, we have always paid attention to the impact of our development efforts. We do not pursue our vision and mission in a vacuum. We pursue them always with the end in mind of making a positive impact on our Boholano constituents. These few slides are the most significant measures of this impact. For your easier appreciation, we are presenting these figures through infographics. Again, let me indicate to you and present our decreasing poverty incidence of families in the province of Bohol as the slide would show. Bohol's poverty index of families dropped to 21.7% in 2015, the latest available figures. Our PSA will again conduct a survey in 2018. This is our lowest ever, and even lower than the regional average. Our employment rate steadily increased for the past 4 years, with the highest recorded in 2016 at 96.3%. A prospering banking industry in the province of Bohol, with a consistently growing number of banks and bank deposits. And that also realizes the dream of having a Bangko Sentral branch in our province of Bohol. Increasing activities of Bohol seaports, with increasing shipping and passenger traffic. Increasing traffic at Bohol seaports, and we are happy to report to the public in Bohol that the Bohol PPA and PMO posted the second highest percentage increase in revenues in 2017 among PMOs in the entire Visayas. We are ranking second already. Increasing passenger traffic and number of flights at the existing Tagbilaran Airport, with the number of flights having increased by 21% in 2017, and a steady increase in passenger traffic with an average annual increase of 8% for incoming and outgoing passengers. Increasing number of micro, small, and medium enterprises with business registration from MSMEs marking a 25% increase in 2016, with a reported 11,962 jobs provided in 2017. In 2017 alone, actual investments from MSMEs have reached 1.5 billion, sustaining the increasing trend of investments in our province. On the side of large investments, from 2014 to 2017, a total of 7.3 billion was recorded new investments in the province of Bohol, especially in accommodation establishments. Increasing inventory of livestock is also recorded. And despite all these increases in tourism and traffic, a decreasing crime incidence with the crime volume consistently decreasing for the past 3 years and posting an average annual drop of 8%. Thank you to the Philippine National Police and law enforcement agencies of the province of Bohol. During this administration, our effort have always been guided by our mantra, Inspire, Heat, Eat, Bohol, representing our development pillars and priorities: infrastructure, social well-being and shelter, peace and order, interconnectivity, reforms in local governance, equitable economic growth with environmental sustainability, and disaster risk reduction and management, climate change adaptation. Our upgrading and maintenance of provincial roads and bridges has grown by leaps and bounds. For instance, the length of our provincial concrete paved roads in the entire province increased by 81% in 2017 alone. And asphalt roads increased by 58%, while gravel roads decreased by 29%, all pointing towards our seamless travel in the future. The improvement of all these roads were a dream of President Carlos V. Garcia and the other leaders who followed during his term as governor. Of course, we could show you graphs and informatics of these accomplishments, but nothing beats pictures. So here are a few, just a few slides of the many to showcase the highlights of our accomplishments in this area. For example, look at the concreting of the access road to the 24-hectare provincial government lot in Cortez under the DPWH with Congressman Rene Lopez Renampatos. This is the new site of the new development of facilities in that particular area. Repair and rehabilitation of bridges funded by Bohol Earthquake Assistance implemented by the Provincial Earth Engineering Office. The national and provincial government convergence through the conditional matching grant to provinces or the Calzada program, which was started and launched by the national government in the province of Bohol, and which we are implementing with full funding support from the national government through the Department of Interior and Local Government. The provincial government of Bohol's counterparty for farm-to-market roads projects under the World Bank-funded Rural Development Project through the Department of Agriculture. 18 local bridges completed with Department of Public Works and Highways, Department of Agrarian Reform, Convergence, and Assistance. Although this is still forthcoming, we would like to highlight even more funding expected this year. Through the Road Leveraging Linkage for Industry and Trade, or ROLIT, a national government-funded project implemented through the Department of Trade and Industry, with 22 local road projects approved in the 2018 General Appropriations Act, amounting to 614 million pesos. On various road projects for implementation in 2018, we see the concreting of another 75 kilometers length of road throughout the province, the construction and rehabilitation of school buildings implemented by the provincial government of Bohol, the Department of Public Works and Highways, in the Department of Education. We are also doing the rehabilitation and construction, including upgrading of our different hospital facilities in the whole province of Bohol. Other facilities and projects built and implemented by the PEO are also seen on the screen. The Ubay substation in Tambal with 69 kilovolts tie line and power barge 104 with the assistance of the National Grid Corporation of the Philippines, the SPC, Bohol 1, Bohol 2, and the Bohol Line Company. And another impressive area of accomplishment is that of our ports under the Philippine Ports Authority. Highlighted here are the improvements of the various port facilities in the province of Bohol. Likewise, we have the improvement of the cruise ship port in Loon, Catagbacan, with its phase 1 ongoing, and other major ports throughout the province. A new type of port is the seaplane landing port in the town of Kandihay, Bohol. With 3 million pesos funded by the provincial government, the LGU in Kandihay is paving the way for the direct connection to the resorts in Anda, Bohol, passing through the newly concreted tourism highways from Kandihay to Anda. The Malinaw Dam upgrading project is also on a rebidding status. And the Bohol Northeast Basin Multipurpose Dam project, which is now programmed for its detailed engineering design after undergoing required social preparation. On social well-being and shelter, please allow me to report to you that our aid to individuals in crisis situation has been an ongoing program of the provincial government, together with other assistance to indigency programs that is supported by the partnership of the PMCI, or Bohol Medical Care Institute Assistance. Our emergency response was also immediately given attention, especially in the Inambanga Abu Sayyaf incursion, where we provided relief operations in Inambanga and other affected municipalities. Our Tabang Marawi desk has continuously been mobilized to provide support to those who are coming in to Bohol for shelter assistance amidst the Marawi crisis. Our whole range of programs for persons with disabilities continues in partnership with the Bohol Federation of Persons with Disabilities Incorporated, which was awarded a Best People's Organization by DSWD Region 7, along with another award for Provincial DSW Head, Ms. Papiasa Postrinos. Both stimulation and therapeutic activity center for children with disabilities and even their parents who are also taught additional livelihood is a continuing program and commitment of the provincial government to its less fortunate and disadvantaged sector. The Bohol Crisis Intervention Center for Women and Children who are likewise survivors of domestic violence and abuse has home maintained and supported by the provincial government. We continue to look after our OFW and migrant workers' welfare with our OFW desk anchored at the Bohol Employment and Placement Office. Our ongoing shelter program. This is, of course, a major aspect of our post-earthquake rehabilitation and recovery. And today, 3,496 units of port shelter have been constructed as of January 30, 2018, funded by the DSWD and implemented by Habitat for Humanity. And IOM Philippines is coming in the picture to support for the rest of the project. Our provincial government funded likewise 243 units of port shelter. On peace and order, we have strengthened our anti-illegal drugs and anti-criminality campaign with law enforcement agencies, which has resulted in more than 3,700 grams of shabu confiscated, with total value of 43.8 million, 336 persons arrested, 533 cases filed. Similar success have been achieved in the campaign against loose firearms and the arrest of wanted persons, and in the campaign against illegal gambling. Yesterday, a surprise grain hunt was conducted by our PNP Provincial Director, Colonel Angel Inorga. Our jail system should be the first entity cleared by authorities from illegal drugs and other crimes. It is a rehabilitation center where inmates are supposed to reform. Any violation needs in-depth investigation by BGMP, PNP, and concerned authorities. This is an affront to our collective goal of a drug abuse-free Bohol. We have maintained our strong collaboration for law and order through the Provincial Peace and Order Council and the Provincial Anti-Drug Abuse Council. In our house, tagging drug abuse-free home stickers for the period December 30 to 2017 to January 25, 2018, a total of 52,058 stickers were already posted, and the rest will be posted in the next few months. The intense campaign against criminality and illegal drugs is further supported by our Center for Drug Education and Counseling. It is our anti-drug abuse, anti-terrorism campaign, our dialogue on preventing and countering violent extremism, our active participation in the People's Advocacy for Collaboration and Empowerment, and other programs that we see the complementation of efforts of all departments and the citizens as a whole. The Bohol Joint Task Force Dragon continues to be an ideal example of intergovernment and interagency stakeholder collaboration for peace and order. Another aspect of maintaining peace and security is through the Countryside Development Program, Puro Power Movement, as well as our awarding of the Galing Puro Award to motivate more and more Puros to perform well. Of course, in keeping with our principle of convergence, our indispensable partners in maintaining internal security are the Armed Forces of the Philippines, and I would like to acknowledge here Colonel Ignacio Madriaga of the 302nd Brigade and Lieutenant Colonel Joel Malig of the 47th Infantry Battalion. This couldn't have been made clearer than during the effective and collaborative response to the Abu Sayyaf Group's incursion in the province of Bohol. Our joint and interagency operations launched against the Abu Sayyaf resulted in the triumphant neutralization of all the 11 armed bandits. Allow me to take a moment to acknowledge and honoring our fallen heroes, our comrades in the AFP and the PNP, who sacrificed their lives so that we could continue to enjoy a peaceful Bohol. Let us pray for the eternal repose of the souls of Second Lieutenant Espiritu Saluda Jr. He deserves a round of applause from everyone. Corporal Meljon Cahaban, another applause. Sergeant John Dexter Duero. PO2 Ray Anthony Nazareno. God bless you, our modern day heroes. Truly, you are descendants of Francisco Dagohoy. As I speak, I'm also reminded that today, February 15, at this very hour, is the anniversary of the death of Attorney Mia Manuelita Mascareñas Green. We continue to pursue justice for the murder of Attorney Mia. The lead suspect's brother in that murder has already been arrested and is now in custody. We will continue to pursue justice, not just for our beloved Maya, but for other victims of similar violent acts, which mark the peace and tranquility of the province of Bohol. We continue to pray too for their peaceful rest and for the enlightenment of judges and prosecutors handling their cases. Interconnectivity refers to our strategic and purpose-driven convergence with national government agencies, LGUs, CSOs, private sector, the ODA organizations, exemplified by the following initiatives: the provincial government of Bohol's partnership with civil society organizations, the World Bank-funded Philippine Rural Development Project, the ADB-funded Integrated Natural Resources and Environment Management Project, Korea Program on International Agriculture, open governance initiatives in partnership with the Union of Local Authorities in the Philippines, the League of Municipalities in the Philippines, the Office of Participatory Governance, and a host of other partners, which resulted into our invitation as a speaker in the Asia Forum that was held in Indonesia. USA-funded complete project on energy development and water supply and sanitation. The Provincial Development Council, as a body that approves and endorses our major programs. Our Provincial School Board, with our schools division superintendent and other multi-sectoral representatives. The Provincial Tourism Council, the Bohol Watershed Model Forest Management Council, the Bohol Competitive Council, the Bohol Provincial Prize Monitoring Council, the Abatan River Development Management Council, the Coastal Law Enforcement Council, Panglao Island and Tagbilaran City Executive Council, proposed to be renamed as Panglao, Taoist, and Tagbilaran Executive Council, Tripartite Industrial Peace Council, the Bohol Energy Development Advisory Group, of course, the UP Advisory Council, whose members I would like to especially acknowledge here because of their selfless pro bono services for the benefit of the people of Bohol. The newly organized Japan Alumni Association of the Philippines Bohol Chapter, the Bohol Horizon Project for Community-Based BRRM with the support of JICA and the Nagoya Institute of Technology, showcasing Bohol as a learning destination for best practices, as a result of which we have been visited by countless LGUs for best practices in disaster risk reduction management and emergency response, good governance systems and planning processes, internal audit, public financial management, and tourism governance. Convergence for the promotion of investments for Bohol. Our collaboration with the 3 Bohol congressmen, the LMP, the Vice Mayor's League, the Philippine Councilors League, the Liga ng mga Barangay, and other local government leagues throughout the province of Bohol. And our partnership with the Bohol Provincial Employees League. I am very proud to say that they have now their own modern building complex right here in Tagbilaran City, owned by the employees of the province of Bohol. Looking inward, we also see constant improvement in our internal structures, systems, and processes, as exemplified by the following. We have institutionalized program on meritocracy and excellence in human resource management. Formulation of the local road network development plan, which one of the first provinces to do it in the entire country. Sustained increase in collection of local revenue resources and significant rise in yearly budgets from 1.8 billion 2 years ago to 2.9 billion this year. Our steady flow of revenues from dividend income on power and water joint ventures, with a total of 138.6 million since the start of their operations. The operation of the public economic enterprise through Cafe Caloy and the Bohol Biodiversity Center in Pilar. And our continuing improvement on systems and procedures, continuing improvement in internal controls, constant strengthening of public financial management. And of course, we are extremely fortunate to have you, members of this august body, as a proactive legislative body that supports innovation and good governance. So thank you again to Sangguniang. On equitable economic growth with environmental sustainability, our economic growth initiatives continue, hand in hand with our overriding concern for environmental sustainability. I would like to highlight the following continuing initiatives. Our Bohol One-Stop Shop and Negosyo Center in partnership with DTI and other national government partners. Our Boss Ascenso Negosyo Caravans, visiting towns and key areas, again in partnership with DTI and other national government partners. Pursuing local economic development through investment promotions and business-friendly environment, especially through our enhanced Bohol Investment Promotions Program. Our coastal resource management and coastal law enforcement, establishment of giant clam hatchery, our marine protected area, underwater biophysical monitoring, and location and distribution of proposed 14 conservation farming sub-projects under our INREM project with the DNR. A1 performance for the provincial government of Bohol for our environmental management system, wherein auditors found 0 minor and 0 major non-conformities during the surveillance audit. Meaning to say, the auditors did not find anything to comment on. Our next challenge is upgrading to ISO 14001, 2015 Standard and Quality Management Systems, or QMS. Also, we are aspiring to be the country's first Global Geopark, an initiated project by the University of the Philippines School of Urban and Regional Planning with the help of the University of Hamburg in Germany. On disaster risk reduction and management, climate change adaptation, the highlights of our many DRRM CCA initiatives are as follows. Our very active Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction Management Council, which again was put to test during the landfall of Typhoon Basia just 2 days ago. Upgrading and augmentation of equipment and facilities, and our PDRMC Command Center, a new home for the Command Center in Camp Bernido. We will soon inaugurate this center. The establishment of Tarsier 117 substations, with another one forthcoming in Luon. Our Tarsier 117 services are reaching even more communities now. Throughout the province, we continue to strengthen capacities of local DRMOs and other LGU-based response groups through various trainings and interventions. There is no substitute to preparedness. Strengthening capacities of institutions and government-private organizations on the RRM is also a major challenge. Our disaster response and assistance is a priority to be enhanced, and our support to the 50th ASEAN meetings hosted here in Bohol was recognized not only by the regional but even by the National Organizing Committee of the ASEAN. You are also aware of the Bohol agenda, which we pursue from every beginning of our term. Health, sanitation, education and skills development, agriculture, food security, tourism and livelihood, information technology and Boholano culture, and heritage preservation. In health and sanitation, our health and sanitation programs are pursuing initiatives year in and year out because we cannot afford to relax when it comes to looking after the welfare and well-being of our fellow Boholanos. And these programs include Dengue Prevention Program, which sees a continuous drop in the cases of dengue, the non-communicable diseases, Healthy Lifestyle Program, National Leprosy Control Program, our support to persons with disability, Adolescent Program, our Family Planning Program, our Renal Disease Control Program, Schistosomiasis Control and Elimination Program, the Nutrition Program, the Health and Education Advocacy Program, the National AIDS and STI Prevention and Control Program, our National Voluntary Blood Services Program, Environmental Sanitation Program, Bacteriological Treatment with our water testing laboratory fully operational, and our drug testing laboratory functional as well. Our Population Commission Program is also on top of the major programs of government. Rabies prevention, and control program with both human and canine elements. The medical and surgical outreach activities, such as our medical, dental, and tool missions in the local front. And we would like to especially recognize the foreign surgical and medical missions facilitated by the Gift of Life Foundation under the resourceful and passionate leadership of Madam Fancy Baluyot, which served a total of 2,314 beneficiaries in various activities, with services valued at more than 70 million in 2017 alone. Let's give a big hand to Gift of Life Foundation. And the continuous upgrading of our hospital facilities and equipment under our multi-year hospital modernization program. On education and skills development, we continue to support skills and development in various areas, augmenting the programs of DepEd and other national government agencies through the President Carlos B. Garcia Scholarship Program, special program for employment of students, classroom building validation, anti-illegal drugs campaign among school children, the dynamic learning program in high school, the first Bohol ICT Education Summit, the turnover of Phase 1 of Turo Turismo Senior High School Tourism Learning Facility in Lourdes National High School in Panglao, and the unveiling of the Phase 2 thereof. The Escuela Agricultura, our agriculture entrepreneurship for senior high school program, and the enhanced English pre-employment training of teachers program. At this point, I would like to particularly acknowledge no less than exemplary performance of our colleges and universities in the province of Bohol, who have contributed largely to the labor force that are trained in various skills to support our entrepreneurs and the development of our province. I would give special recognition to the only state college and university here, the Bohol Island State University, who made successes in various licensure examinations. Third top performing school all over the country in September 2017 registered electrical engineering licensure exam. Fifth top performing school all over the country in the September 2017 registered master electrician licensure examination. Third top performing school in the whole country in the November 2017 Civil Engineering Licensure Examination. Sixth top performing school in the September 2017 Licensure Examination for Teachers. Second placer among examinees all over the country of the September 2017 licensure examination for teachers in the elementary level. And third placer among the examinees all over the country of the September 2017 licensure examination for teachers of secondary level schools. We are proud of our colleges and universities, and we would like to say congratulations to Baisu and all other colleges of universities in Bohol. You have all exemplified the determination and passion for excellence of President Carlos B. Garcia and other Boholano leaders. In agriculture and food security, in developing agriculture and ensuring food security for Boholanos, we have developed and sustained the following strategic initiatives. The implementation of the Philippine Rural Development Project, which has made possible the rehabilitation of farm-to-market roads through I-Build, and a total of 52.5 kilometers road length and 531 million total project cost. These are just a few pictures of our ongoing farm-to-market road projects, which before had difficulty getting funding, but through this program are already seeing a green light at the end of a dark tunnel. Still under PRDP, through IREAD, we are are funding a variety of small livelihood projects throughout the province, benefiting many farmers and communities throughout people's organizations. Our envisioned status for Bohol as the dairy capital of the Philippines is made clear to reality with the help of DA Secretary Manny Piñol, OPA, Office of the Provincial Agriculture, and the Office of the Provincial Veterinarian, through the Bohol Dairy Processing and Marketing Enterprise, implemented in partnership with the Bohol Dairy Producers Association, or BUDPA. A 9.2 million project is now being implemented to strengthen our dairy cooperatives all over the province of Bohol. There are great global environment facility projects as well, giving packages of assistance to our seaweed industry farmers and seaweed communities. In Region 7, Bohol is an outstanding implementer of PRDP. For example, in the preparation of provincial commodity investment plans, which is a requirement before any funding, Bohol is #1 in the entire PRDP Visayas cluster, whole of Visayas, with the highest number of approved PCIP. I would like to thank all the employees who labored to make this happen. Crops productivity enhancement with rice seed production attaining 118% accomplishment from 400 hectares targeted to 471 hectares actually planted. The rice situation and outlook indicates with a 48% increase in rice production, the province of Bohol has recorded the highest percentage increase in the entire country. Of course, Bohol is the main source of rice in Central Visayas, and this was announced by the Department of Agriculture Regional Director in a recent meeting at the National Irrigation Administration Office. We continue with our farm modernization program, with our high-value crops development program. And please look at these wonderful pictures of our vegetable commercial farms, which are now supplying our markets with our produce. From our program of Bahay Kubo, Faith, Hope, Charity, which encourages people to do backyard gardening, we are moving towards commercial production to supply our hotels, our resorts, our different malls, and other demand in Bohol. In the future, we want to supply the rest of Visayas with vegetables. Bohol Organic Agriculture Program is also a very encouraging project and very exciting one. Fishery Resource Development Program is ongoing to support the supply of fish, not only in the coastal sides of Bohol, but also the inland fishery requirements. Our very well-performing livestock development program, which has resulted to 50.9 million economic contribution of artificial insemination through offspring produced, among many other positive indicators. This is augmented by the Barangay Livestock Aid Program, or BALA, also being implemented by the Office of the Provincial Veterinarian. Our native chicken development program is a priority. There is a very high demand for native chicken, not only in Bohol, but outside as well. Let's Help Bohol program and continual dispersal of animals, which are given as gifts to the next recipients, multiplies in various numbers our livestock in the province of Bohol. The meat-based enterprise, and something that we are very excited about, the dairy industrial development in Bohol. The launching of Bohol as the dairy capital of the Philippines, which we did with the presence of DA Secretary Manny Piñol, will see the Obay Stock Farm as the breeding area for Girolando cattle from Brazil, and will increase dairy animal and milk production from 1.8% of the national requirement to 10% by 2022. On livestock disease and prevention and control, livestock delivery to CDP PPM areas, and our Galing Pook award-winning Bohol Rabies Prevention and Elimination Program with 82,530 dogs vaccinated achieving 71.9% dog vaccination rate, exceeding the national standard of 70%. We are not fully comfortable with this performance, and we are, therefore, appealing to every citizen of the province of Bohol to become advocates for responsible pet ownership. We have to help government execute the rules that will make Bohol a rabies-free province. We would like to make special mention of our agricultural achievers who were cited in provincial, regional, and national searches. Our 2017 winners were Suhit sa Malampuso, Marumang, Bulanos, our agricultural extension workers, and our national rice achievers. In tourism and livelihood, everyone here in Bohol's vision to be a prime eco-cultural tourism destination is known to everyone. Thus, we continue to invest time and resources and effort to this particular sector through the following initiatives: development, marketing, and promotion of tourism sites and attractions, which has seen consistent increase in cruise ship arrivals, tourist arrivals per figures of Bohol Tourism Office, accommodation establishments, and especially in the hosting of international events, which augurs well for Bohol's bid to be a world-class venue. Launching of Behold Bohol, the branding of Bohol, and Behold Bohol app. Here, we would like to acknowledge the participation of the private sector because the app is a contribution of a generous heart of Mr. Thomas L. Rednor of TAR Share Company who developed the app. The Philippine Travel Mart and Travel Sale Fair, we continue to raise Bohol's visibility through online publication, articles, and blogs. As we promote our tourism, we continue to produce promotional videos, festivals, and local activities. And the new Bohol economic sites are also being packaged to be added to the original sites that have been publicized. As the saying goes, Bohol will never run out of dishes to be served on the table. In promoting livelihood, we are pleased to report a wealth of successful initiatives in the following areas: employment and placement, education and skills development, labor market information, and mobile services to match the job seekers with the job offering groups. On information technology, our ICT advancement is largely private sector driven, and we coordinate closely with the service providers who will give realization to our long-held dream of participating actively in the BPO industry. We also collaborate with them in pursuit of ICT events, strategies, and programs, such as the first Bohol Education Summit, 5th Victor Conference, and the 3rd Visayas Creative Congress, as well as various other events to welcome startups and investors into the province of Bohol. Although private telecommunication companies tend to be very secretive about their plans, we are happy to report that Globe has disclosed its plan to expand its network by 6 more wireless sites this year with upgrades to deliver 100 megabytes per second. The business process outsourcing continues to develop in Bohol through many companies, including our local investors, such as the families of Albert and Uy and the family of Mar Uy, now developing their own BPO centers at our city. The business process outsourcing also excites so many sectors outside Bohol. We have our own in-house services in the provincial government called the Big Two, as well as our internally developed systems and databases. In Boholano culture and heritage preservation, I know many Boholanos are very excited to hear this. Our support for Boholano culture and arts and heritage continues through various activities held in partnership with various public and private agencies. Taking inspiration once again from the life of Francisco Daguhoy, the kasing-sining Teatro Bolanon in song revived the drama musical Dagon sa Huyuhoy with support of CCP and NCCA. The establishment of the Bohol Film Commission jump-started the development of Bohol as a potential film capital of the country. Various activities were also initiated to develop our local creative industries in 7 towns, including the conduct of an eco-cultural heritage camp for the youth sector. We welcome the creation of the Bohol Contemporary Dance Company, augmented with the Bohol International Dance Project Summer Workshops. With the guidance of cultural experts, we successfully reconceptualized the Sandugo Festival to celebrate the power and ingenuity of local culture through Kuradan street dancing competition. In the area of literary arts, our local writers group, Kaliwat sa Karyaba or Kaka, with the support of CCCAD, organized the Balut Beer Upala 2018, an open mic poetry appreciation event for poetry in multiple forms, read or spoken, sound, or even interpreted in film. We also supported the holding of the Two Farm Film Festival in collaboration with the late great Boholano movie director Mario J. De Los Reyes. There will be even more cultural activities to look forward to as we anticipate the development of Bohol as a regional cultural hub with the budgetary support coming from NCCA, including a modern cultural center. And something that we are very proud of and extremely excited about, the restoration of Bohol's heritage buildings and churches. In the wake of the earthquake, we thought it would be next to impossible to fund the rehabilitation and reconstruction of these buildings. But because of our collaboration and convergence with many agencies, most notably the Tourism Infrastructure and Enterprise Zone or TIEZA, the National Museum, the National Historical Commission, the Diocese of Tagbilaran, and the Diocese of Talibon. We are very, very proud to showcase these churches, towers, and monuments as rebuilt and restored. Just recently, we mourned the loss of one of our country's icons in film industry, our beloved Boholano director, Mario J. De Los Reyes. We are grateful for the moving and memorable films he has given us, and for his sheer generosity of spirit. Thank you for everything. We will always remember you, Director Mario. We are grateful for the affirmation of good governance. As I have always said time and again, we do not live for awards and recognition. They are not the be-all and not the end-all of governance. However, whatever awards we get to receive affirms also that we are, and maybe rightly, have chosen the goals and the right goals and moving ourselves in the right direction. We would like to showcase our major awards and recognition earned in the previous year, if only to tell everyone that these awards are not done by 1, 2, or 3 persons, by all Boholanos who have shared their time, effort, talent, and treasure to make Bohol what it is today. The province of Bohol got the seal of good local governance, its third in a consecutive row for governance awards, the highest awards of the Department of Interior and Local Government. To our surprise, and with great astonishment, the province of Bohol in 2017 got the most business-friendly LGU award, province category, given by the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry and awarded by President Rodrigo Duterte himself in formal ceremonies held at the Manila Hotel. The national grand winner of the Best Provincial Implementation of the Integrated Community Food Production, which was piloted in the municipality of Cortez. The Best National Partner of the Anti-Illegal Recruitment Campaign Award, given by the POEA, the recognition for support of the National Voluntary Blood Service Program, top performing provincial LGU in terms of increased LGU budget allocated for healthcare, special citation and due recognition to our active role in helping to improve the health of Filipino children through newborn screening, special recognition of renal disease prevention program, special citation for HIV program, all for Health Towards Health for All, and mental health program. The command plaque for the province of Bohol from the Armed Forces of the Philippines, recognizing our support to the Philippine Army in its community-based peace and development initiatives, especially for the former rebels, and the Tugas Award in the field of patent issuances. While we have many successes, we must admit that we too have many challenges. We do not intend to just paint a rosy picture and assume that everything is going well. There are challenges. There have been always challenges, and challenges will always be there. But we choose to perceive these challenges positively, and we focus on what we can do about them, rather than be immobilized by them. We recognize the following challenges, and together with our partners and with all of you, we must commit to continue the trend of reducing poverty in the province of Bohol. Together with you, we must sustain the robust business climate that we have now today. We must continue to manage and look for ways and means of managing price of prime commodities and basic commodities. We must address traffic concerns and promote seamless travel. We must continue to ensure sustainable tourism development. And we must continue to institutionalize barrier-free tourism in the province of Bohol so that everyone, young and old, disabled, or those who are fully gifted with physical strength can travel in our province without any fear or obstruction. Preserve peace and security in our province, fast-tracking implementation of power and water investments, enhance capacity of Boholanos towards making the province a center for excellence and development in agriculture, tourism, and information technology. And of course, the most important part of it, when we talk about the future, and when we talk about governance on a national and a local scale, we must help in educating and promoting awareness among our people for a better understanding on federalism and constitutional reforms. It is only through well-educated and informed people that we too can participate in the critical role of charting the future of our republic. In relation to these challenges, we have legislative proposals as well, which we hope that the legislative branch and our congressmen can act on. They will need proactive action from our members of Congress, from Sangguniang Panlalawigan, and even local Sanggunians. And they include, of course, a congressional inquiry into the rising prices of fuel in the province of Bohol, especially that the government and the private sectors at the national level must be pulled together through the proper dialogue as well as charting of specific courses of action, including the investment in the province of Bohol, either by government or private sector, of bigger depots that can stock larger volumes for an increasing market in the fuel industry in our province. We know that DOE, the players in the industry, can help the people of Bohol in this particular regard. Our members of Congress are more than willing and more than in the best position to help us along the way. The local legislation on the part of component LGUs requiring establishments to conform with the accessibility law in the approval of permits to ensure barrier-free tourism all over the province. Local legislation of component LGUs is highly endorsed and requested, requiring mandatory submission of reports by all establishments, especially data on tourist arrivals and accommodation. our local legislation can support the already existing Tourism Act of 2009 because our data and statistics would be very, very important in both local, regional, and national planning. It is only the commitment of the private sector that can help address this particular concern. Additional legislation for compliance on regulatory policies will be much needed. As we develop, more challenges will require regulation to ensure sustainable development. We would like to announce to everyone at the end of this particular SOPA report that we would like to end this message with a positive note. To end with a bang, as the saying goes, to save the best for the last. I would like to leave you with images that will make you even more excited, more optimistic, and more determined about Bohol's future. These, ladies and gentlemen, are the updates on the top 10 major development projects of the province of Bohol. The Bohol Panglao International Airport. Again, pictures are worth more than 1,000 words. Therefore, I will allow the pictures to show you the extent of development of the project site. In just a few months, the airport will be ready for its inauguration. This project was conceptualized as a dream under the leadership of then Governor Constancio Chatto 30 years ago. We started our term without funding for this project. But look at these pictures now. Thank you to JICA and the national government. Let's give a big hand and thank you. The new provincial capitol building, which will also be inaugurated this year, and which we are eager to occupy, along with all the other provincial government officials and personnel. This project was also a dream only under the term of then Governor Lino Ibarra Chatto, more than 40 years ago. Since then, it has always been known as the new capital site. What a satisfying sight that it is now becoming a reality. We are surely breathing life into their dreams. The Bohol National Museum, which will now house Boholano artifacts and artworks, providing another showcase of creativity, artistry, and ingenuity to the Boholanos. This was another one of our long-range dreams and a cherished dream of our cultural workers, which thankfully found its way into realization. This means the fruition of another dream by a great Boholano national artist, Napoleon Abueva, which will soon have a special room for his work in this edifice, and UP President Emeritus Jose Abueva. We would like also to remind everybody that the rehabilitation and improvement of the CPG Sports Complex, which is seeing its first full development and rehabilitation many decades after it was constructed by then President Carlos P. Garcia as Governor of Bohol. We will soon be ready to open this again on February 20 as we open Sibiraa in February 24. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, Bohol branch, set to be built in a 5,600 square meter lot in the municipality of Dawis, and which we have made official today through the signing of the deed of absolute sale with the Bangko Sentral officials led by BSP Assistant Governor Sika, who is right here in front of us. And this was a long-held dream of business and banking community for decades already. Actually, to the point that some were no longer sure whether it will ever happen. Actually, now it is coming true. Thank you very much, Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Bohol is the dairy capital of the Philippines, which we just launched together with Secretary Piñol of the Department of Agriculture. A few years ago, we were confident about envisioning our status as the dairy capital of Central Visayas. Then, it became our dream of becoming a dairy capital of the region, the entire Visayas region. Now, we are setting our sight on becoming a dairy capital for the whole country. The hospital modernization program Our continuing improvement of our hospital facilities is ongoing. The repair and rehabilitation of the Capitol Annex is also ongoing, and we look forward to having this also a possible option for our new courts and judges to be housed. The Bohol Youth Home for our children in conflict with the law, which will be constructed with our very own funding of 80 million pesos, supplemented by 10 million grant from the Department of Social Welfare and Development. Soon, we will start its groundbreaking also in the property of the provincial government in Cortes. Our drug rehabilitation center, to be funded by the Department of Health and the donor agencies, is now about to start. The new offshore connector bridge to link Tagbilaran City to Taoist and Panglao, which will be our third bridge. And I am pleased to report to you that the feasibility study funded by the Department of Public Works and Highways has just been completed. And the project will have initial funding of DPWH in 2018 budget as estimated to cost 4.2 billion pesos. One Bohol Power project for sustainable long-term power supply. This aggregation of our private sector partners in the power industry will soon be open for competitive bidding for affordable, reliable, and environment-friendly power supply for Bohol. The bulk water supply project for competitive bidding also for bulk water supply of the clustered towns all over the province. Aside from the investments of Richley Corporation, which is now ongoing, the clustered bulk water supply procurement process is also underway. The Governor Celestino Gallares Memorial Medical Center, to be named as Governor Celestino Gallares Medical Center. Thank you to Dr. Mutia Kismet Tirol Macuno, the new chief of the hospital, and Congressman Rene Lopez Relampagos, sponsoring the bill supported by Congressman Art, Congressman Aris, so that we can realize the law that will be passed both in the House and the Senate for a 525-bed capacity. The project is now ongoing as far as the Tagbilaran Gallares Hospital, and soon to start also is the 2.2 billion hospital facility in the town of Cortes. This year, IT hubs in Bohol will be registered with PESA, and this will open BPO centers. Our economic zones are also in the drawing board, because as we move further in bigger dreams, we have to create more economic enterprises. The Bohol International Convention Center, which is envisioned to be achieved with public-private sector investment to hopefully host APEC, ASEAN, and other international gatherings. If Bali is able to host one, Bohol can definitely be a center for international conventions. There are, of course, more long-term projects in the pipeline. As planned in our Provincial Development and Fiscal Framework Plan over the next 12 years, we emphasize that we are not just realizing the dreams of our former governors and Boholano leaders. We are also starting new initiatives that will also require the support of Bohol's future leaders. I mentioned the Boholanos' resiliency at the start of this speech. Let me come back to it. This resiliency is evident in the way we have come together and risen from the rubble of the great earthquake in 2013. A 7.2 magnitude earthquake that, before, had shaken us to the core and made us ask questions, even momentarily, whether or not we would be able to recover from such a devastation. Well, less than 5 years after the tragedy, I can confidently say, and I'm sure you will agree, we can all declare to the whole world that the Boholano spirit has triumphed. Here is a quick glimpse of the damage and losses we suffered in that earthquake. Here is an update of the Bohol Earthquake Assistance Project, with 989 projects completed, 71 projects ongoing, and 6 projects on procurement. These are the funding coming from 2.3 billion BEA program funds channeled to the DILG, to the Office of the Governor, and distributed by the Governor to the different LGUs for implementation. This, of course, excludes funding that went through the different national agencies and NGO groups implementing their projects in the province as well. Here is a look at ground zero, municipality of Sagbayan, before, immediately after the earthquake, and the devastation. Today, as a proud and bustling municipality that has risen from the rubble, let me show you what Sagbayan is now in vivid pictures. With the public markets, one of the best, all the water supply, the road network, health centers, including the new municipal hall, the gymnasium. Of course, the spirit of Boholano resiliency was not just evident in Sagbayan, but in many other towns in Bohol, as we will show you just a few of these images, highlighting the impressive pace of recovery throughout the province of Bohol. At this point, I would be remiss not to acknowledge the hard work of our provincial government officials and personnel, led by our provincial administrator, Alfonso A. Namalerio, the provincial legal officer, Attorney John Michel Boisel, the provincial planning officer, Attorney John Titus Vistal, to all our provincial heads of offices, our elected officials, our department heads, our division heads, rank and file personnel, our contractual and casual employees. These are the results, outcomes, and impacts of your blood, sweat, and tears to make sure that we deliver what we have promised our Boholano constituents. We also owe our thanks to the Boholano LGU officials, employees everywhere, from mayors, vice mayors, councilors, barangay officials, LGU officials, and all other partners and stakeholders. Thanks to our data team. This is my 8th SOPA. They have been in charge for compiling all these accomplishments and packaging them into a presentation that has made it easy for our stakeholders to visually appreciate what we have done. Our national and regional and ODA partners, led by our USAID coordinator, Ma'am Linda Paredes, and the rest of those whose names we cannot mention, all of you are greatly contributing to what Bohol is today. Of course, let me end this SOPA with a very simple but heartfelt dedication to these 2 very influential women in my life. My mother, Victoria Migrinio Chatto, and my mother-in-law, mother to my beloved Atty, Primitiva Senera Venoso. I would like to dedicate it to all mothers as well. While our fathers ensure the sustainability of the family by providing for our needs, it is our mothers who ensure the inclusivity of those provisions by making sure that every member of the family, every child in the family, no one is left wanting. And our mothers would even gladly forego their own needs just to make sure that their children are provided for. Truly, our mothers exemplify the best qualities of our greatest Boholano heroes. 8 years have passed like a flash of lightning. I hardly noticed it, not even aware of my hair slowly turning white. Our province is fast moving, developing, and growing in its desire to be recognized in the world of governance excellence. Our past heroes, leaders like Governor David Tiron, who is here with us, Governor Rene Relampagos, and all the other leaders who came to the capital to lead us, and even our loved ones, are no longer visible today, but they are alive, and they see us through their own 2 eyes. Our eyes blink together. Our eyes smile together. Our eyes wink together. Our eyes cry together. Although our eyes do not see each other. Their past efforts and initiatives have provided a sturdy foundation on which we have built our present accomplishments. Let us continue to dream together and realize our dreams, inspired by and connected to our heroes, our leaders, our loved ones, from whom we draw inspiration and guidance. As I am fond of saying, happy are those who dream dreams, even big dreams, as long as they are willing to pay the price to make their dreams come true. And that, my esteemed members of this august body, is my report to you, the accomplishments of the provincial government of Bohol and our development partners and stakeholders and the people of our province, made possible through your strong legislative support. To God be the glory. Thank you. Good day, everyone.
Mr. Chairman, I move for the adjournment of the session.
Session adjourned.